This is a genetic regulation pathway that leads to the formation of spikes in certain cells of the ectoderm of the spiny beetle. Not all cells in the ectoderm have spikes, some are smooth. Mutations in this pathway is one of the things that can result in a cell with no spikes. In our first scenario, there is a mutation in the P gene. This red minus sign indicates that the mutation does not allow P to be produced. If P can't be produced, then the presence of S is irrelevant and I is not activated. If I is not activated, it can't inhibit K, so K will inhibit E, and this particular cell cannot produce spikes. If there is a mutation in the I gene, the results will be very similar to the previous example. If I can't be produced, then the two upstream genes are irrelevant, and K will inhibit E, resulting in no spikes. This next example involves two mutations, one in I and one in E. E is the most important factor in determining whether the cell can have spikes or not. Regardless of any of the other four genes, if E can't be produced, then the cell will have no spikes. This last example involves mutations in S and K. If S can't be produced, then P is not activated, I is not activated, and I will not inhibit K. But K does not need to be inhibited because it has its own mutation. If K is not present to inhibit E, then spikes will be produced. So, given this pathway, why don't all ectoderm cells in the tiny beetle have spikes? Well, we just went through 4 different mutation scenarios and 3 of them resulted in no spikes. So one hypothesis could be that it's because of the mutations. But surely mutations can't account for all the ectoderm cells that have no spikes. Just looking at this pathway, one of the things that really stands out to me is how long it is. There are 5 different factors that come into play when determining if a cell will have spikes or not. Lots of genes requires lots of transcription, which requires a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to make the spikes, and it takes very little energy to inhibit spike production.